Hi, this is Edward Troxel, and in today's video we're going to look at one of the tools that we mentioned in the What is Scripting video called the Stereo Split tool. What it will do is take a single stereo file, split it across two separate tracks, and then set one side to be the left side and the other side to be the right side so you can pull each side off separately as needed. So let's see how we can do that. So let's start with the code from last time where we were looking at the is selected because we only want to look at the selected tracks. In this case over here in Premiere we have our audio clip on the timeline. I'm going to select that audio clip and that will be the clip that we want to change. In this particular case we're already finding the is selected right here, and so we will be getting rid of this line and making our new changes below that. One of the first things we need to do is make sure that we have an audio track to put the new clip on. We're going to copy this clip onto another track, and just because we have 3 tracks listed here, we wouldn't necessarily know that ahead of time that there were some extra tracks here that had nothing on them. So what we need to do is first create a new track. To do that, we have to use a new command called app.enableQE. QE is another API for Premiere that will let you do some more things that the regular API won't, but it's not well documented, so we're going to use it as little as possible. But to add a new track, we have to do the enable QE. Now that we have the QE enabled, we need to get the QE sequence. So I'm going to create a new variable here called my QE sequence, and that is going to be at QE.project.getActiveSequence. Previously we were looking at video tracks. Today we're going to be looking at audio tracks. So let's change this to look at audio tracks. Now we're going to go through the tracks just like we did before, find the track, then we're going to go through the clips in that track just before, find the clip, and determine if it was selected. So now, if the clip is selected, then we're going to do something. The first thing we need to do is add the track. To add the track, we have to use the QE sequence. So we're going to do my QE sequence, and then we're going to add tracks. Add tracks takes several parameters. The first parameter is the number of video tracks you want to add, which in this case is 0. The second parameter is what index value do you want the new video track to be. In this case it doesn't matter because we're not adding any. But the indexes start in the middle and work their way out. So for example, the bottommost video track is index 0. The next video track up would be index 1. With the audio, the uppermost audio track is 0. The next audio track would be 1. The next audio track down would be 2, and so forth. So right now, A1 is index 0, and V1 is index 0. The next parameter is how many audio tracks do we want to add. In this case, we want to add 1 audio track. The next parameter is whether or not that audio track should be mono or stereo. Well, since our clip is stereo, let's go ahead and make the track stereo. And then the next parameter we're going to use is the audio index number. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and use the number of the track that we found the clip on. That way, it will add one just above where our clip already is. So in this case, I'm going to put I. Now I'm going to create a new variable called my track, and we are going to get that track. The next thing I need to do is copy the selected clip over to this new track. To do that, I need to get the clip in the bin. So let's call this bin clip. And this will be T clip, and it'll be the project item. So to add it to the new track, I have to have the project item initially. Next, we're going to add that clip. So my track dot, let's just use overwrite clip, and the clip we're going to add is the bin clip, and the place we're going to put it on that track is tclip.start. That way they both start in the same position. And then I can go ahead and get the new clip as my track.clips, and it's going to be the first one on that track because it's the only one there, so we're just going to hard code that to clips 0. Next, I need to change the left and right values on the channel volume so that one of them will be only left and one of them will be only right. I'm just going to hard code these in for now, and we'll get into how all this is done later. But for now, tclip.components, and channel volume happens to be the second effect, so it will be number 1, and then the properties in that effect, and we want the left, which happens to be the second property, so that will be 1, and then we're going to set the value to 0. Then we're going to do the same thing with the new clip. Same component. Then we want properties 2 in this case because we want the right side, which is the third property. And then we're going to set the value to 0. Now that we have the parameters property set, let's go in and change it so that when I move one of these clips, it moves both of these clips. So to do that, I'm going to do new clip dot set selected, and we'll say true, comma 1. The original clip was already selected, so I don't need to select it. Then I am going to do a my sequence dot link selection, and then let's do a set selected on both of those clips and get them both to false. So we'll have new clip dot set selected false, comma 1. Then the T clip dot set selected false, comma 1, and that should do it. So let's come over here to Premiere. Let's just raise that up, and in here we need to press our Control-Shift-A, make sure Premiere Pro is selected. Then we can click on our Start Debugging. Okay, so as you can see, we are actually debugging this script, and it says that there's actually an error on this line, and it said that overwrite clip is not a function. Well, it is absolutely correct. So let's click on this red square here. And I have a capital W here, and it should be a lowercase w. So overwrite is all lowercase, and then a capital C for clip. So we have this selected. Come back to here, run it again. In this case, it completely finished. So if we come down here, you'll notice when I move one of them, they both move. And if we come down here and play back the timeline, you'll notice when I have the top one selected, the right is at -infinity and the left is 0. And then on the other one, the left is at -infinity and the right is at 0. So now when we play this back, if I mute the left one, I have right only. If I mute the bottom one, I have left only. So as you can see, with a quick little script, we can easily be able to change any stereo clip on the timeline to be 2 mono clips, one showing the left side, one showing the right side. Please sign up at www.jetdv.com and subscribe on YouTube to get further notifications on when new videos are presented.